I looked at pictures of Lalgarh. I saw dao. It's a Bengali word, I don't know what the English is. Bows and arrows. I was in Presidency College 67-70. The Naxalite movement of 1963 and 64 had headquarters in the canteen of Presidency College. The weapons used in the 65-66 movement of the Naxalites are the same weapons they are using today. That is where we have left them. They are the products of hunger. They are the products of our failure. If you treat them as a police state would, then I'm afraid we have not lived up to the idea of India. India, for me, is a powerful idea for one reason alone, against any other country in the neighborhood. India is the only nation which will reach the status of a modern nation. What is a modern nation? A modern nation has four basic fundamental realities. Number one, political equality, adult franchise. Number two, extremely vital, gender equality. And I know that is a problem among Indian Muslims far more than among others. I tell Indian Muslim audiences, and I'm happy to repeat it, that if you don't have gender equality in your community, you will not enter the 19th century. Who's inviting you to the 21st? Number three, religious equality. Irrespective of what we may believe in front of the law, we are the same. But fourth, and this is the great failing of India, there is nothing called economic equality, but there is something called economic equity. Equity. That word equitable has been used. If we have poverty, we cannot be a modern nation. That is the challenge, along with terrorism, of the next 10 years. I suggest we do not call them terrorists. I do not approve of violence. But remember the trap. If I don't scream, you don't hear. And when I scream, you say I'm being irrational. Our job, our responsibility is to lift them out of poverty, and that will be the end of Maoism. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us such a varied viewpoint on this issue. Now, I would like to invite Shri Shrijanpal Singh. He is a management graduate from the Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. He was also a student of Dr. Kalam. Before coming to the IIMA, he completed his electrical engineering. After graduation from IIMA, he declined any corporate job and decided to work full-time with the former president, Dr. Honorable APJ Abdul Kalam, working as a scientist and developing models of sustainable development.
Ladies and gentlemen, today he will talk about an integrated program for citizen action against terrorism, Operation Savdan. To take the session forward, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Shri Shrijanpal Singh.
As the youngest member, I think some technology snag is there. So, can I get the technology guy? Whoever's taking care of AV. This has to be projected. Okay, anyway. So, meanwhile, first of all, good afternoon to all the ladies and gentlemen over here. Thank you to Mr. Roy, Mr. Shivanandan for giving me an opportunity to be here and talk to you. And it is an honor to be sitting with such an elite panel over there. I have read them, I have heard them, and I have admired all of them. So it's indeed a great privilege. Let me give you what the background of Operation Savdan. Incidentally, on 26th November 2008, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was in IIM Ahmedabad as my faculty. And there we were discussing on something he calls the 10 pillars of India's development. The 9th one we were discussing, which was how to make India a secure and terror-free nation. Now, I was a part of the group which was presenting over there, and we talked about that how important it is for the people who are the first point of contact for any terrorist operation, and probably the people who are most, in terms of time, the longest span of contact with the terrorist, which is us, the citizen. So how do you integrate the citizen? Just put it. How do you integrate the citizen into the job and the task of being an action-oriented force against terror? We all know what happened on 26th November 2008, later in the evening. And then the idea went on further. It was helped and funded, not just in terms of resources, but also in terms of inputs by the state police of Gujarat. And also we got partners like, advertising partners like Lolintas and many other movie agencies and advertising agencies who helped us make a pilot for Operation Savdhan. I'll discuss with you the various elements which have gone into it, and you're always free to give me feedback on that. Now, the mission of Operation Savdhan was to prepare aware, action-oriented and responsible citizen for making a society resistant to all form of terror strikes and educate people how they can best help those affected by terror and the security forces tackling it. Now, Shri Udayji and Akbarji both talked about how important it is for the individual level and the institutional level to mobilize in how do we address the problem of terrorism. They also talked about how we should not end up